Well, it doesn't really matter what you call it. They come in different brands, shapes, and sizes. And according to some statistics, there are even more bubble tea shops in China than KFC and McDonald's put together. It has multiplied to the point that wherever you go, you will definitely be able to find a bubble tea shop, along with fierce marketing strategies. That takes the cake. That's some serious advertising going on. But you must be wondering, how did this came to be? Well, of course, our story begins with tea. No, not the English one. I meant the Asian tea. Tea leaves are generally found in various shops that are native to China and other parts of Asia. And when tea was first discovered, they were believed to contain medicinal properties because they taste bitter. Somehow, we Chinese believe that whatever is bitter is good for your health. I don't know why, but I was told by my grandparents and my parents that that is the case. Aside from that, tea has been consumed for many reasons. Some drink them for health benefits, some drink them to sleep better, some for the caffeine kick, but it doesn't really matter. Because in China and other Asian countries, tea has always been consumed for cultural purposes, such as tea ceremony or wedding ceremony, or even just for casual hangouts like dining or meeting up with friends. More importantly, people drink tea because it's affordable. While it is true that there are many expensive teas, tea is generally cheaper than other beverages like coffee and chocolate, so it won't break the bank by drinking a cup of tea. For all those reasons, tea is a big thing in China. But the problem, you see, tea has always been consumed as a hot beverage. After all, you need hot water to extract out the essence from the tea leaves. And if you leave it to cool, it will quickly oxidize, and you know what it tastes like to drink day-old tea, right? Stale and disgusting. But that all changed with the commercialization of refrigerator. With that came the birth of ice cubes. With this, it paved a new wave of innovative consumables. Now, you can also have a fresh cup of ice cold tea. But that wasn't nearly enough. After all, selling tea was a highly competitive and cutthroat business. And it was mainly suited to the adult palate because, it tastes bitter and adults, experience the bitterness in life, so tea wouldn't be that much of a kick to them. So on a particular hot day in Taiwan, an owner of a tea shop was trying to sell some tea to school kids. So she came up with an idea. She ditched the traditional image of tea, get an attractive looking cup, added some sugary flavoring or kid-friendly condiments, ice, milk, tea, and voila! Bubble tea. After that, various condiments were introduced to create today's version of the Asian cocaine. And you might know, drinking tea used to be traditional, old school, cheap, and belonging to the bygone eras. But that all changed. It got cool and expensive. So it didn't take long for people to start drinking it and hanging out in bubble tea cafes. It has now turned into the Starbucks of teas. Aside from that, bubble tea has also turned into a so-called social media hype. This baby here has been designed to look pretty for the gram. You can find millions or even billion images of bubble teas on social media platforms, which most might say it's similar to coffee art. But you must admit, the way the colors come together, it is pretty enough to be placed beside Van Gogh's art. But I mean, seriously, tea has come a long way, evolving from a traditional drink to something of a stylish dessert. It is no longer just a drink. To elevate the experience of drinking a cup of tea, milk, tea, sugar, fruits, anything, you name it, they'll have it, will be added into this cup of tea and transform the taste into something magnificent. Plus, it is not weird to find bubble tea flavored ice cream or cakes anywhere nowadays. I know some people think it's weird to pimp a drink up to this extent, but if you think about it, it's similar to coffee. You have different kinds of coffee, and you also have coffee desserts. It is just that tea has always been part of our Chinese culture, and that we have adapted it to suit the changing eras. You should take out the mask, it looks stupid. Personally, I don't drink that much bubble tea, because I'm cheap and I can't finish it by myself, but today's special. So I've got the coconut milk, peach and lychee oolong tea, with cream cheese topping. Sounds good. That's pretty sweet, pretty good. I'm not sure if I dig the cream cheese on top, but it does give it a very nice texture and layering to it. So even though it's zero sugar, it's still quite sweet because of the fruits. So I'll let you in on a little secret. I haven't had bubble tea since I was 14 years old, and I'll tell you why. Back then when I was at the tuition center, I brought in a cup of bubble tea, and then it had pearls in them. So while I was drinking, I choked onto one of the pearls, and despite my best efforts to prevent my reflexes from spitting out all the bubble tea onto the people in front of me, I failed. So of course the guy in front of me got so pissed as I showered him with my bubble tea. Well, it was an accident, so I'm sorry. So the next time you decide to buy some bubble tea, remember, you're having a taste of the Asian culture. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and stay so thirsty.